Hello, and thank you for joining me. I am Shirley Ross. I'm a Close to My Heart consultant, and starting this month, I am going to be doing a card kit that you can earn for free when you purchase the Stamp of the Month from me, or if you purchase it either straight out or if you do a qualifying $50 order and earn it for $5. This is a kit that's just exclusively to me. So the card kit is going to be for this pop-up card, and I'm using the fundamentals and of course the Stamp of the Month. And the Stamp of the Month is for the love of crafting. It has several crafting sentiments. It has a camera and a typewriter. It also has a Cricut cut that works with the You Are Here Cricut cartridge for those of you who may have the Cricut cartridge. And we are going to use the Do What You Love. The kit will come with an envelope and a card base. These are from our value pack cards that come 52 a pack. It's X254. I will put that in the caption so you'll be able to see that. You're going to have another piece that is 5 1/4 by 3. That's scored at 3/4, 3, and 3 3/4. You're going to have an inside sentiment piece that's 5 by 3/8, and you're going to 5 by 3 3/8, and then you're going to have a piece that's 5 1/4 by 4. That will be the front of the card. So the first thing we're going to start with is making the front of the card, and I am going to be doing that using our thin cut dies. And I'm going to start first with the front cover. I am working with our new stitched heart and our basic heart shape. I am going to work with the basic heart shape first because it's the larger of the two. I am working with our fundamental papers. Our fundamental papers are ones that are patterned that go with the different palettes that we have at the moment. Our color palettes are going to change on the 1st of September, but we still have our color palettes, and this is from Adventure, and that is raspberry and blossoms on the back, so you can pick whichever side you wish to use. It does have a pattern that you do need to make sure it's going in the right direction, and I have my hearts going in the right direction before I put this down. And then I just eyeballed it to try to get it kind of in the center, and then I'm going to use washi tape. I like to use washi tape to hold down the thin dies when I'm putting them in a specific place. Just remember when you're doing that to test out the washi tape to make sure it's not too strong and tears your paper. You can do that on a scrap. I am using the Cuttlebug, but if you have the Big Shot or the Gemini or the Excalibur or any of the mini die cutting machines out there, our thin cuts work with them all. I use the A plate, the C plate, and the B plate for the Cuttlebug. That makes sure that it is deep enough to cut. The C plate's a little bit bigger, thicker, so you also will get the extra pieces. The next thing I'm going to do is actually attach the front to the card base. And if you're going to add any kind of embellishments such as ribbon or anything that you'll need to attach to the back side, be sure and add that before you do this part, because once you've attached the front to this piece to the front of the card, you're not going to be able to, or it'll be very difficult to pick it back up. I do like to put a little bit of adhesive on the parts that are going to be moving, and you might not be able to see the crease line, but I am lining it up so that I have a little bit of about 1/4 of an inch. And I'm going to line it up in the upper left-hand corner and the bottom right-hand corner, and that usually gets it pretty straight. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it this way. The card bases fit perfectly on the Cuttlebug base plate. And I'm going to line it up, and again, I'm going to use the washi tape so that it can be lined up just exactly where I want it to cut. Then add this, make the sandwich as they call it, A, C, B, and then we're going to run it through again, and through one time, and back. My table's wiggling a little bit, sorry about that, so let's move the plates out of the way. And again, when you're done with this, just carefully pull that up. You're going to have, again, an extra piece that you can now use on another card. And it's got the stitching on it. And of course, those will nest together nicely so that you can use it. And those you're going to get with the card kit. So let's move the thin cuts out of the way. I like to stick my washi tape because you can use it several times before it loses its sticky. So I like to put it on top of the Cuttlebug handles. Alright, and now we're going to close the card so that we can do the mechanism part. So let me grab. The mechanism part is the one that has all the scores. And what I like to do is to go ahead and fold them and use the bone folder. This piece is going to be on the underneath of the sentiment piece, so you're not really going to see it. You want to make sure you get it good and straight. Now what I like to do, because the mechanism is going to be moving a lot, you may want to go ahead and fold it in both directions just to be sure that those pieces move nicely. Alright, so that they'll, when it starts to open and close. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put some adhesive right here on the edge, the small edge, the 3/4, and then I'm going to put adhesive on the back. Now I'm using Tombow, but if you want to use a stronger tape, you can. So now what I'm going to do is, I like to kind of center it between the top and the bottom of the card, and right on the crease for the card base. So I put it like that, and then I'm going to close it like this and close the card. When you close the card, it will pick up the base perfectly, and then just make sure you do a little pressure to make sure it's down good. So now you have the mechanism. So now we want to do some stamping, but we want to make sure that our image is right where we want it. So I'm going to put my sentiment piece right like that, and then I'm going to take a pencil, and I'm going to just kind of eyeball the center and put a little dot, just very, very, very little dot. And then I'm going to take it out, and I'm going to get the stamp, and I am using the Do What You Love image, and I'm going to do it in charcoal because I think charcoal kind of goes with every color. So while I'm working with several of the different fundamental colors, I can use just the single ink. Use whatever ink you have, black or whatever color you want. And then I'm going to line up the curve of the Y at the bottom, because that's about the middle of the stamp image, and I'm going to stamp it right there. And I have my Versamat turned over so it's on the spongy side, which makes it so much easier for stamping. And then be sure and use your spritz and your scrubber and clean your stamp when you're done and put it away. Alright? That way you'll not lose your stamps and they won't get dusty. Alright, so now that's done. Now what you can do is open the card like this. Alright, and I'm going to line it up from this side. So I want it to be kind of in the center. That looks good. And I'm going to come back here, and I didn't quite get it centered, but that's good. That's good. Okay, and move it up some so that this can go here. And then put some adhesive on the back of the mechanism just to the point there. You don't want it to, there we go. There we are, and see? Oh, I got some residual stuff. And there it is. And you did all the lining up before you attached it. So I hope you've enjoyed the video on how to make the card, and I hope you love the stamp of the month as much as I do. I'll just share with you, that's that version. I have one here, this version, and I did one with ribbon, so you can use ribbon with it. You will have a small piece in your kit so you can stamp the camera. That one I did with the cranberry. So I hope you've enjoyed it, and I look forward to having you shop with me on my website. Bye.